So, let's talk about crypto, because I think we can all agree that the last few years have been, well, a roller coaster. We've seen incredible highs, some pretty terrifying lows, and a lot of people wondering if they missed the boat or if the whole thing is just a bubble waiting to pop. But I'm here to tell you that what's coming in 2025 is going to make everything we've seen so far look like the pre-game show. This isn't just another year of incremental gains or another Bitcoin halving cycle. No, 2025 is shaping up to be the start of an entirely new era in digital finance, and it's all thanks to one massive, game-changing technology that's finally coming into its own. I'm talking, of course, about artificial intelligence. We're no longer just talking about AI as a cool chatbot or something that creates funny pictures. We are now at the point where AI is being integrated directly into the core of financial analysis and investment strategy, especially within the world of cryptocurrency. This is the secret weapon, the unfair advantage that sophisticated investors are starting to use to sift through the noise, identify real value, and make decisions based on data, not just hype and a prayer. It's like having a team of thousands of analysts working for you 24/7, tirelessly crunching numbers and spotting trends that the human eye would almost certainly miss. In this video, we're going to do a deep dive into exactly that. I'm going to break down the most important new cryptocurrencies that are set to make waves in 2025, but with a twist. We're not just going to look at their white papers or their marketing promises, we're going to look at them through the lens of AI-driven analysis. I'll show you how AI is giving investors a crystal-clear edge, what these AI models are predicting, and how you can position yourself to potentially capitalize on what could be the biggest shift in wealth generation we'll see in our lifetime. So make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's get right into it. Alright, so the first coin we absolutely have to talk about is one that AI models are flagging for a very specific reason. It's engineered to solve two of the biggest, most persistent problems that have held crypto back from mass adoption, speed, and security. Look, we all love the idea of Bitcoin, but let's be honest, you're not using it to buy your morning coffee. The transaction times are just too slow, and the fees can be unpredictable. This has been the reality for a lot of the older, first-generation cryptocurrencies, making them more of a store of value, like digital gold, rather than a practical, everyday currency. This is where our first coin comes in. For the sake of this video, let's call it Velocity. The entire architecture of Velocity is built from the ground up for one purpose, to be used for daily transactions. We're talking about near instantaneous settlement times, so when you tap your phone to pay, the merchant gets their money in seconds, not minutes or hours. This is the kind of speed that can actually compete with Visa and MasterCard. It's a complete paradigm shift from the slow, clunky experience that many people associate with crypto payments, and it's what's needed for real-world usability. But speed is useless without security. We've all heard the horror stories of exchanges being hacked, or people losing their life savings. Velocity tackles this with a novel consensus mechanism that's not only incredibly efficient, but also highly resistant to the types of attacks that have plagued other networks. It uses a multi-layered security protocol that makes it exponentially more difficult for bad actors to compromise the network. This dual focus on blistering speed and fortress-like security is precisely what makes it a viable candidate for becoming a go-to digital cash system for the next generation of users. Now, here's where the AI comes in and why this gets so interesting. The AI models I've been looking at aren't just analyzing price charts. They're scanning global sentiment, developer activity on platforms like GitHub, the rate of new wallet creation, and even regulatory discussions across different countries. What these AIs are predicting for Velocity is a massive surge in global adoption, specifically because it solves these core usability issues. The forecast isn't based on hype, it's based on the data point that people and businesses will naturally gravitate towards the most efficient and secure solution available. The AI analysis projects that as a few key e-commerce platforms and payment processors begin to integrate Velocity, a network effect will kick in. Think about it, once you can use it on one major site, others will follow suit to stay competitive. This creates a snowball effect. The AI models are forecasting not just a price increase, but a significant growth in its market capitalization, driven by actual, tangible use in the real economy. It's moving from a speculative asset to a utility, something people use because it's simply better than the alternative. So, when we look at Velocity, we're not just looking at a coin with promising tech. We're looking at a coin that AI data suggests is on the cusp of breaking through the barrier of niche adoption into mainstream commerce. The prediction is for strong, sustained growth, not because of a pump and dump scheme, but because it's fundamentally designed to be the payment infrastructure for the digital age. This is the kind of insight that moves you from being a gambler to being a strategic investor, and it's all powered by data. Okay, moving on to our second coin. If the first one was all about becoming digital cash, this next one is about becoming the world's new supercomputer. I'm talking about the smart contract space. Right now, when you say smart contracts, everyone immediately thinks of Ethereum. And for good reason, it's the pioneer, the king. But being the king also means you have some serious problems. Anyone who's tried to use the Ethereum network during peak times knows what I'm talking about. The gas fees are astronomical. It can cost you $50, $100, or even more dollars just to execute a single transaction. This is a massive barrier to entry. It's pricing out small-time users, developers, and startups who have brilliant ideas for decentralized applications, or dApps, but simply can't afford to build and run them on Ethereum's expensive digital real estate. This is the exact problem that our second coin, let's call it Nexus, is designed to obliterate. Nexus is a next-generation smart contract platform that was built with scalability at its core. It offers a platform that is significantly faster, more efficient, and most importantly, drastically cheaper than Ethereum. Imagine being able to deploy a complex decentralized finance protocol or a new NFT marketplace for pennies instead of hundreds of dollars. That's the promise of Nexus. It's creating an environment where innovation isn't limited by your budget. As a result, we are seeing a massive brain drain from other more expensive platforms. Developers and startups are flocking to Nexus in droves because it finally gives them the freedom to build and experiment without going broke. It's fostering a vibrant and rapidly expanding ecosystem of new projects that simply couldn't exist on older, congested networks. And this is where the AI analysis gets really compelling. The AI isn't just looking at the price of Nexus, it's scraping developer forums, tracking the number of active projects being built on the platform, and analyzing the growth rate of its total value locked, which is the amount of money flowing into its DeFi ecosystem. The data shows a clear exponential trend. The number of developers committing code to Nexus projects is skyrocketing, and the amount of capital being locked into its smart contracts is growing at a pace that rivals the early days of Ethereum itself. The AI forecasts that this is not a short-term trend. It predicts that as more high-quality, real-world applications are built on Nexus, things like decentralized insurance, supply chain management systems, and gaming platforms, its value will grow in direct proportion to its utility. The AI model sees a future where Nexus doesn't necessarily have to kill Ethereum, but rather carves out a massive slice of the market by serving the millions of users and builders who have been priced out. It's becoming the go-to platform for the next wave of decentralized innovation. So, the investment thesis for Nexus, backed by AI analysis, is incredibly strong. Its value is directly tied to the growth of its ecosystem. Every new dApp, every new developer, every new user that joins the network adds to its intrinsic value. The AI is projecting substantial growth in its market cap, not based on speculation, but on the tangible, real-world utility it's providing. It's a bet on the explosion of the decentralized application economy, and Nexus is positioning itself as the core infrastructure to power it all. Now for our third and final coin, and this one is all about a classic, time-tested strategy partnerships. In the corporate world, a single game-changing partnership can send a company's stock into the stratosphere. The same exact principle applies in the world of cryptocurrency, but on a potentially even bigger scale. The ultimate goal for any crypto project is real-world adoption, and the fastest way to get there is to team up with the giants who already have millions or even billions of users. This is where our third coin, which we'll call Momentum, truly shines. Momentum's core team isn't just made up of brilliant coders, it's stacked with business development veterans who have been relentlessly focused on one thing: forging partnerships with major, established companies. We're not talking about a small, obscure online shop accepting their coin. We're talking about forming deep, technical integrations with household names, major tech firms, global e-commerce platforms, and massive retail chains. These are the kinds of deals that take years to build and are based on providing real, tangible value to the partner company. For example, imagine a partnership with a company like Amazon or Shopify. If one of these giants integrates Momentum as a payment option, it would instantly expose the cryptocurrency to hundreds of millions of potential users overnight. The team behind Momentum has been working tirelessly behind the scenes, not on flashy marketing, but on building the robust, secure, and scalable infrastructure that these big players demand before they'll even consider a partnership. They're playing the long game, building a product that solves real business problems for these corporations, like reducing transaction fees or enabling new loyalty programs. This is where the AI-driven analysis provides an almost unfair advantage. The AI models are constantly scanning corporate press releases, earnings calls, and even patent filings from these large tech and e-commerce companies. It's looking for keywords, phrases, and strategic initiatives that align with Momentum's technology. The AI has started to flag a significant increase in mentions of blockchain payment solutions and digital asset integration from several key industry leaders, and it's connecting these dots directly back to Momentum's known business development efforts. What the AI is projecting is the high probability of one or more major partnership announcements in the coming year. It's analyzing the pre-announcement data trail. Think about it. A deal with a massive corporation doesn't happen overnight. There's a long trail of legal work, technical integrations, and pilot programs. The AI is picking up on these faint signals that the average investor would never see. It's forecasting that once one of these big boy partnerships is officially announced, public perception of Momentum will shift dramatically. The result, according to the AI forecast, will be a massive reevaluation of the coin's price. It won't just be a small bump. It'll be a fundamental repricing based on its newfound, undeniable real-world utility and its integration into the global economy. The growth will be driven by the sudden, massive expansion of its user base and transaction volume. The AI is essentially saying that while other coins are hoping for adoption, Momentum is strategically engineering it by getting into bed with the biggest players in the game. It's a powerful strategy, and the data suggests it's about to pay off in a very big way. So as we've seen, 2025 is setting up to be a truly landmark year for digital currencies, and it's clear that the game is changing. The days of throwing money at a coin with a cool name and a flashy website and just hoping for the best are officially over. The key differentiator, the element that will separate the winning projects from the forgotten ones, is going to be tangible utility, and the most powerful tool for identifying that utility is artificial intelligence. The convergence of these two technologies is creating an unprecedented opportunity for those who are paying attention. This is why I'm telling you to stop guessing. Stop making investment decisions based on emotion, hype from some random person on Twitter, or a fear of missing out. The future of smart investing in this space is about using data and rational analysis. It's about leveraging tools like AI to look beneath the surface, to understand the fundamental drivers of value, and to make informed choices. The information is out there, and the technology to process it is now more accessible than ever. Your goal should be to invest like a strategic, data-driven professional, not a gambler in a casino. Ultimately, the financial revolution is coming, with or without you. The integration of AI and crypto is not a question of if, but when, and all signs point to 2025 as a major inflection point. So, the question I have for you is this: are you going to be a spectator, sitting on the sidelines watching this massive shift happen? Or are you going to take action, educate yourself, use the tools available to you, and position yourself to potentially benefit from one of the greatest technological and financial transformations of our generation? The choice is yours. Thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.